Hello everybody and welcome back to my Raging Germany series. I think I'm going to be done with my side projects until I finish this series up, so you should see a nice consistency of videos from this point till the end. Also, I just wanted to comment, in case you weren't aware, the last part had a recording issue because I was recording my entire desktop and not just the game. I did solicit your guys' feedback. I didn't get too much as far as how to proceed. So I think I'm going to err on the side of caution here because I personally do not have experience with how the AI treats Keshiks. With this many Keshiks and the fact that they can move 5, they can shoot and then move, in the hands of a player, this would be extremely dangerous. I would probably lose, you know, it would be very damaging. I don't want to sit here and calculate the losses. So I do think I'm going to wait until Lancers. This gives us time to get everybody healed up and better into position. Try and drop a Citadel here. I don't know if I have to drop it. I know it's got to be in or adjacent to your borders, but I don't know if it can be in another civilization's borders. I think it can, but in the event that we can't drop it here, we need to drop it here. So I need time to get the Great General down here for that. So that's kind of the plan here. First things first, I want to go ahead and annex the city so that we can start raising it. You can see we can absorb this. Oh, and I do want to point out before we do this that there is a Colosseum in the city. And that's important because right now in the capital we are building the Circus Maximus, and that's one of the requisites of it. One thing that'll be interesting to see is that here it says we've got 3 turns to go. So let's annex New York so we can start the raising process. I don't intend to finish it. We'll just raise it down to 1 so we can keep the borders. Every population that we burn away, the happiness will go up. We can use this time to sell off buildings for gold. We just got to make sure we keep the Colosseum until we're finished building the Circus Maximus. So I will go ahead and say raise city so we don't have to bother with citizen management. And then as far as buildings, it looks like granary is going to be the least useful here. So we'll start with that. We'll do aqueduct next because it's basically complement. And we'll save, you know, happiness and science and stuff like that. Keep in mind the city's in resistance, so it's not like we're actually getting anything from this city right now. And Circus Maximus still says 3 turns, so I don't know. Its build was probably already including that, because I know that's how it works for like policies and stuff. So anyways, let's start getting people into position. I do want to start pushing my units forward, so I'm thinking if we move this guy here, this gives us visibility. We're in our own turf and we're in rough, so that's pretty helpful. We'll get the Great General forward here to get that procedure started. Another thing is we were moving everybody in, and now that I've decided we're going to probably wait for Lancers. I mean, it's going to be really nice to just look at all these units we have, all these pikemen pouring in, so we'll keep moving them down. We didn't really need our workers in Constantinople, so I'm just going to have this one move down as well. Since he's the backmost worker, we got a lot of workers down here, but we might just need that many. I had mentioned last time I usually, when taking over city, rip up roads, but this road right here is pretty crucial. And even this one, since there's marsh here, is fairly useful. So we don't want to touch New York's, but as all of our units get in, we're not going to need the road from Washington to New York. So maybe this backmost worker will be the one that, you know, tidies up after everybody. Anyways, let's see here. We got a production project to choose. We got workshop. I'm really excited to announce that I've got a new I don't know if I'd call it a new strategy. I'm going to start moving this guy over, but I've been doing some experiments on the side, and I think I have a much better approach to the early game. So I think future games are going to be that much more successful. Now, if I remember correctly, we're at war with them, so we will go ahead and make peace with Washington.
Well,
Oh, apparently we can't because of we went to war for them for a deal. Alright, so it's only going to take 4 turns So in the meantime, we can go ahead and start getting these guys a little bit of XP. Don't think we have any barbarian camps that are active. There was one up here. Oh, and you know what? Since we're at war with Washington, maybe... wow, I didn't realize how exposed that guy was. So let's go ahead and start beating up on this scout. Oh, whoops. He had already attacked this turn. Probably the barbarian, so that's not an option. Well, if I had known that, I would have like moved in here to zone of control him, but we'll figure that out. Anyways, let's go ahead and do that. Got a horse there. It just occurred to me I should have stepped in and shot. The musketmen in the past have been able to kill a horse straight away, so on flat land at least. So I didn't even stop to think. That was very risky because if I had low rolled here, to clear it with archer would have sucked. So, but at least we got the horse out of that. This guy, I don't think I'm going to move him into the war effort per se, but we don't have a need for a death squad here in Constantinople at the moment. As the game starts winding down, I think I'm going to do away. In fact, didn't we have a barbarian camp down here now that I think about it? Where are we? Okay. Yeah, so after I clear this camp, I'll probably have these guys occupy Munich and Berlin and free up these horsemen to start heading over. We got this guy heading over. Once this death squad gets back, we'll free this guy out. Maybe that'll free this horseman up. Because we do want to start going the horseman route. I still think going into military science, just so we can swarm the Ottomans with as much mounted as possible, since they do have the Great Wall. The mobility we would get from that is going to be really good. Okay, so we got a melee here that apparently can reach all the way down to here, so that's pretty nice. Looks like we got one coming in here, and we got a couple coming in from the back. So I think here the idea is just going to be, if I'm not mistaken, in the last part I told him not to spy on us. So we've already talked him off. It was probably premature, but I did it in the last part, so that's a matter of record at this point. So let's see here. As far as our archers go, if I'm not mistaken, all but one has range. So ideally we'd want to get the ranged one onto the road so that he can occupy a more forward position, since he just can't shoot as far. And right now, unfortunately, he is technically the one that is furthest to the back. So given our current configuration, if we choose to do that, then these two should be able to occupy these two hexes. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't really think it matters which one's which, since they both have range and double tap capabilities. So we'll get this one on the road so that he's a little more flexible next turn as far as placement goes. We'll just have this worker come do the deers up. If anything, we'd want to repair these tiles first, but as you can see, Genghis Khan has occupied that. So, let's see here. We'll come down in this way here. So what we should do here is probably back this great general up. If I move him into the city, he's got a good spread on the backfield, because we're going to try and insert this one and see if we can't drop a citadel into his lands. Let's see, this is going to be the backmost worker, so this guy can kind of come in and start, well, he can reach all the way over there, so let's just start repairing things, because they don't got anything better to do right now. I think the moment this tile is vacated, it might be a good thing to clear the marsh here. We got roads here. That doesn't really help from entering the marsh from outside, but whereas this one's completely problematic. So if we can, we should rip up both of these marshes, but I think only this one's particularly crucial. I do believe that's everything I wanted to cover. We just got to make sure that we're selling off a building every single turn, and let's pass. See what Genghis does. Okay, this is what I was hoping to see, a bit of a withdrawal. That is a lot of Keshiks, but that's okay, because once we have Lancers, we're going to have a lot of things we can throw at him too. Obviously, the main thing is just to keep our musketmen alive. They're the blockers. We only got the 3 of them. We do have others in our empire, but these are the experienced ones. And even they aren't particularly experienced. That one's pretty nice, but these two don't even have cover yet, so... oh yeah, and we do have the one in the city which we will empty out once he's healed. City becomes religious. Let's see here. Gardens provide 2 happiness. I do think there's a garden in... Yeah, so we'll try and hold on to the garden. Again, while this is in resistance, I don't even know if we're getting the happiness from this, but... anyways, let's sell the building. We gotta try and remember to do that every single turn. Looks like Suleiman deals. Let's address that. Timur! Will he give us full... He will. Very good. Nice. It's nice that we're getting him locked into this full value now, because I don't know if they're friends with Mongolia. No, they're not, but they've been friendly. They joint warred with Washington, so they probably have some history. I don't know how the AI... Biblos and America no longer allies. Really? Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the most experience we can here, and let's go ahead and then make peace. And we're actually into almost close to friendship, so let me know if you guys happen to know if the fact that I was attacking this and killing it, if my reputation level went down, or if the fact that we were at war kind of just renders that what's the word I was looking for? I don't know. I'm kind of focused on these decisions here. Anyways, let's hop up on the hill. He'll start heading west, obviously. Like I said, this guy will take over for this guy. This guy can go over there. So it might have actually been more worthwhile to have the musket man start heading this way. Because we are going to keep Constantinople. I mean, it's okay that we have human monuments. It's not like... okay, so we can attack him. That's a good exchange rate, so might as well. We'll get a little bit of gold. Yeah, last time I accidentally found my way into a cul-de-sac there, so we just got to kind of hope that guy lets me go at some point. Meanwhile, let's just keep moving these guys down. You can follow the footsteps of that guy, I suppose. Let's see. Let's try and keep this guy off Damascus, or yeah, Arabia's radar. You just heal up. Yeah, none of this part matters. The workers and whatnot. We're just doing what we can. Alrighty, so let's continue scouting. We know Nicaea is here. Hopefully this gets us close to there, because this might just actually be the end of all of our scouting needs. That would actually be interesting. It'd be nice to come here, but whatever. Let's see here. So, new turn. We do have open borders with him, so let's try and insert our great general like this. And then we'll backfill with melee. That's a nice little checkers kind of arrangement. And if I'm not mistaken, we wanted to get this guy as forward as possible. And unfortunately, that's not looking very possible. So, this worker could start ripping up the marsh here, but again, I'm not sure how important that is. Does it actually say farm 10 turns? I think it's normally 6, so I guess the marsh would take 4 turns, which would be right on time, and we could have this one start doing it here. Oh, did I sell a building off? Yes, I did. Okay. I don't want to forget that. Might as well just start ripping up the marsh. I don't know how important it is, but at the same time, it's not really important to repair any of these tiles. Yeah, I mean, if we were friendly with somebody, having the extra furs to make like a lump sum deal, and then we lose the furs, and, you know, no big deal, no loss to us. That's always a fun trick. But, so yeah, we'll move him forward just because he's the only one that can reach this hex this turn. And that frees this guy up to do this. Wow, look at that range with the road. Wow. So he could probably... No, not quite. Alright, because he didn't start on the road as the thing. For that reason, it might actually be better to have him on this hex, just because that does put him on the road, and now wherever I want to move him next turn is better. As it is, we're leaving this guy exposed. Again, I don't think Genghis is going to attack us, but that might change once we plop down the citadel. He might not be feeling as generous. So if I move this great general here, I have all a spread of everybody that's unaffected. Once the citadel's dropped, though, we'll be down a great general in the vicinity, so that's something we got to keep in mind. This guy's got range, so I'm not too worried about the fact that he's there. We'll move him here next turn, perhaps, because once a citadel is dropped here, we'll have that many more tiles that are ours, and we can get our blockers into a better better position. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? We have open borders, so we can make this affordment, but at the same time, he's occupying some of our hexes, which ideally would not have it that way, but, you know, whatever. So that appears to be everything. Let's just keep this candle burning. Alright, he's withdrawing a little bit more. That's nice. Let's see. A camp has spawned. Yeah, I suppose that is worth chasing after. I mean, ideally we'd be freeing up these knights to get over there, but at the same time, it's going to take him 2 turns to get up here anyway, so he can afford to do this for eyeballs, and then he'll shoot as the same turn this guy gets up there. Or if it turns out to be a horse, this guy can end up in a... no, that's not true. Alright, so let's see here. Okay, he's making good on that. Doesn't matter. Alright, so we can just finish this camp off. Okay, and we got a pikeman. So, I don't know how excited I am, but we'll be able to upgrade him to a lancer as he starts heading over. So, could be worse. Could be worse. Let's see here. I don't think this is worth putting too much effort into. We do got a worker that's freed up here. 2 turns, this can become a plains farm. That's good enough. We still have an undeveloped tile here, and we'll be working towards that. So maybe this guy comes and does the plains farm, and this guy comes and does the grass over here into the iron, and then this guy can head over to whatever comes next. None of that really matters at this point, I don't think, but we still want to keep up on it. Let's see here. Let's get him onto the road. I think that makes sense. And he'll be able to jump onto the road like that, so that's pretty good. He's just following in the footsteps. We kind of knew we'd have a civilian, but he can step and start getting into the road. So once these guys cross over, maybe he rips up the roads. Is probably going to be his best use. Let's see. Again, I kind of want to stay off of Arabia's radar, since technically I am transporting a great general unprotected, relatively speaking. Alrighty, so now the moment of truth. Can I drop a citadel here? And indeed I can. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so now things look a little bit different. Let's see here. I like him there. I think we have a little bit of time to start getting people altitude training. So I'm thinking let's move this guy here, because that's the only way to get anybody altitude training right now. Move that guy there, because we always want to occupy this. We don't want him being able to pillage this tile. It's too important to us right now. We do have more melee that can get into range. In fact, let's move him out for now. I don't want to have a blocker in Boston's bombard range. Philadelphia, that's funny. Let's see, so, whoops, I meant to move him there, because he's mostly healed up. And one of these guys can backfill. Again, New York is burning. In fact, that reminds me, let's go ahead and do this. Looks like Forge is the next least useful. We are 1 turn away from Circus Maximus, so that's going to make a big deal as far as all that goes. Let's see, workers. not really important that this is repaired. So I'm going to come down here just because then we'll get over to here next turn. That's a lot better than all this rough and river. And oh, cool. The road opened up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. And now we have 2 options. So we are free once again. And that's actually a really good thing because that could have turned out to be pretty bad. I think I want to just stay here because of zone of control. We'll be able to nail him.
Well,
yeah, we'll get a little bit of gold for that. I don't like taking our knight down to no health because we could be using him, but, you know. Okay, so this will be the new human monument. Maybe we need a death squad for something, I don't know. So you just chill there for now. Great General makes more sense here. That actually covers all of our units except for the guy dipping into the Kool-Aid over here. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, he's not going to take kindly to this. I don't think he's going to go straight to war. We have a history, so... but that is a lot of Keshiks, so once we have Lancers, I'll be a lot more comfortable. And everything appears to be in order, though, so let's pass the turn over to them, see what they do. She's definitely going to talk to us. It's just a matter of... oh, wait, no, we got the prompt when I actually dropped it. Okay, I was mistaken. Alright, so it's unfortunate that this tile is occupied, and this one, actually. Because I kind of want to get more people doing altitude training. Let's see here. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and finish that guy off. Cross the river. Alright, so he's all tapped out, but here we go. And indeed, it does look like this is the end of our need for scouting. This scout's got a little bit more to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's pretty much everything. Alright, so you were coming here for eyeballs, just a swordsman. It would be nice to intercept him just because the more knights we can free up out of these things, the better. This guy wants to beeline for the road, so we'll give him preferential treatment. He'll go ahead and take over in Munich. He'll start heading towards Berlin. Seems a little quicker if we head towards the road. Circus Maximus. Alright, we'll go to Zoo. Obviously, Happiness is doing really well now. The only things we have to sell, let's look at that. He says he wants copper and spices, neither of which do we have in abundance. However, we can afford to lose 8 happiness by selling these off. Did I remember to burn a building this turn? Let's see here. Shrine is probably the least useful. I did not remember, so I'm glad I thought to do that just there. Of course, now I just forgot what it was I was looking at that made me think of that, but... alright, so this situation... we do have more melee coming in, which is nice. That frees us up to be able to get these guys out. So, ideally, what's going on here? What if I moved him onto the hill? These guys can swap places, right? Because you don't have altitude train. No, it looks different. It looks like a... it looks like this. So, we'll just have these 2 swap places. Now he can move down here if I want, and then we can move him. This isn't technically a blocker, keep in mind, because it's going to become a mounted unit. I'm just trying to keep the Great General protected as best as possible. Although we do have another one that's about to come from the back. Can you reach New York the tile? I don't want to move him to find out. Actually, we can check by moving him, and indeed he can, which means this archer can now is freed up. But where would I move it to? Yeah, I don't want to hop up on the hill here. Is this the one that doesn't have ranged? It's not. Which is the one that doesn't have ranged? It's this one, right? So at the very least, we want to swap this one back out for this guy, perhaps. So let's just do that. There we go. Now the one without range is closest to the action, which is ideal. So there's no real good place to move him out, and therefore I don't see a reason to do so. Can you move again? You can. Alright, let's just do this then. Alright, So we won't be able to upgrade him on that tile, but now we can move him out and get him in there. And that is it. Great General, you are on your own. Oh, this guy. Okay, yeah. So there's this guy still. Alright, so that's good. So we do not want to rip up roads yet, and I don't know how many of these tiles. Let's just assume the lion's share goes to Washington since it came first. So I'm guessing these two rows of hexes are going to belong to Washington. This one's to New York. So really we'd only have to rip up these two, because once New York is burned to the ground, America's paying for that. So yeah, I guess just start here. We don't want to pull it yet, obviously, because we have another unit or two to get over there. Although, as Lancers, they could cut through this forest relatively quickly. But we'll hold off one turn on the ripping up of roads there. And he was just basically looking out for this guy's well-being. He looks like he's going to be safe from this point. He's not doing anything else. Let's just stick with him for a second. It's unfortunate it's going to take us a whole turn to move one hex with a horseman, but alright. But anyways, this great general's got a nice spread. Oh, and it doesn't even need to anymore because we've got this great general in the backfield. For that reason, I will go ahead and move him here. This is our most robust tile, and this keeps whoever's here under protection. Obviously, I want to consolidate my units. I don't like this penetration of his units, so we'll just keep bringing our units in and like occupy whatever tiles we can to make it less and less attractive for him to do so. Alrighty, so this guy was gonna be heading this way. This guy's also heading this way. Alright. Now let's go ahead and move there. Okie dokie. So, let's see here. I want to end up on this hill. Trying to decide whether to go here or here. I figure we'll stay closest to this side because technically we don't have a death squad. We're actually very light on death squads in the west. So maybe it would have been a better idea to move here and just start heading that way since war and... Oh, look at this. He might actually take Philadelphia. And then if he does, would it make more sense for us to attack into Boston first? That way we're not trying to insert ourselves in a way we get attacked from both sides. Because he's still got a lot of Keshiks in the north. And we've moved all our blockers to the south. So maybe next turn I'll do some juggling. I mean, Boston's just not really worth my time either way. I mean, I'd probably just liberate it to America and then our units would be all goofy. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he's focused on Philadelphia, then maybe... Alright, here we go. The provocation train has begun. But he's out of our land, so this is really, really, really nice. Okay, that's quite good. Okay, that's what this worker was going to do, so we'll just do that. We wanted him to the road immediatement. Let's see, this guy can reach really far, but if we take over for this guy, he can probably reach even farther. Oh no, he doesn't look like he can, really. One tile more. But you know what, with the hills and stuff here, that might make a difference. Yeah, because the guy that was here would end up here and would get across the river one turn sooner. So let's just do it this way. In fact, no, because the one in Hamburg would get there in the same amount of time, so this is fine. Don't need to get extra fancy. Regular fancy's just fine. Okay, oh, and you know what? I totally... Oh no, I just got him on the road. Never mind. I don't even have metallurgy yet. I don't know what I was thinking. I was about to say that I had managed to forget to upgrade somebody, but clearly that's not the case. Okay, so we do have a camp over here, and my crossbowman should be able to see and shoot from this side of the river, which is nice because he doesn't actually have any support. Both of our horses are severely damaged, so I don't see that being of much use, but we can always take a peek and see what's going on there. Oh, you know what? I never did sell this guy our stuff. I was talking about it and then just totally forgot. So we're missing out on a little bit of gold, but that's fine. I mean, we can do it now, but obviously the fact that he's denounced us, we're probably going to get that much less. Let's just go ahead and get the gold we can while we can. Accept embassy. Oh, because the denounce. I don't want to accept embassies. I'm not trying to repair. Let's see. Will he do above 6? No. Okay. Who knows? Maybe last turn we could have gotten a better deal. That's unfortunate. This guy could also get eyes on this. In fact, he could get eyes on it right now. We are not at peace with them yet, are we? But we can do it this turn. So let's do that. And that makes it a little safer from us to come over here. And thanks to our promotion, we can actually see it. It's only a warrior. So I'm thinking I might actually have the scout come clear it with the crossbowman. Because, you know, why not, right? Okay, so we're going to be upgrading next turn, which means we're going to want to go the turn after that. So I think we have one more turn to get this guy altitude training, and then all these musketmen will have it. On the other hand, this might be a good time to start making sure everybody's in our borders so we don't get prompted. On the other hand, if we were to get prompted, I'm okay with lying at this point. Only Ottomans are left. But still, if we can avoid it, let's do that. So maybe we save altitude training for after Turfin is ours, as far as everybody else goes. We'll get this guy over here. Does that make sense? I think so. Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll have this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. Okay, that's a really good spread of blockers in my opinion. We can start moving archers in. Let's see, Turfin, this is flat, so if we have a ranged guy here, they should be able to reach. So there's that. Same story here. Is it too late? Did I take all this guy's movement points? I didn't. Oh, because he has altitude training. That's why. Okay, so maybe I move this guy here. I mean, it would be really risky to put this archer on a hill. But he could occupy this hex. This one could occupy this hex. And then all my archers could reach right away. Also, if I put the archer on a hill, it could get shot. But at the same time, that already applies to him here. So maybe back him up. I think we determined last turn that a person here can reach here. But I don't want to have anybody outside our borders this turn. Alright. I was just looking at this guy, so I'm thinking of doing something like this. No, because if I'm going to be moving these guys in here like this... Turfin's not a particularly strong city, so even if one of my archers gets shot, should be fine. Yeah, so we will do it like this. Let's back this guy up, so he's not outside our borders. And then we'll move this guy in there. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't remember to burn off let's burn off the garden. And let's stop the city raising. I can't believe I almost forgot to do that. I'm so glad I caught that. We'll just work max production tile. For now, it's not doing anything for us, probably. I'm thinking of if we take this guy over the border like this, now this guy can start ripping up roads. Because we've got everybody over. The fact that we don't have a human monument in Washington, as you can see, we are handling the happiness just fine. In fact, I'm going to have this guy start moving down. Because next turn he could step, upgrade, and then he'll be really quick. Is that too much? I don't know. Probably have the scout come be the human monument in Washington. The fact that this is what it is, we can clear it up with what we got, probably. Or, better yet, it might actually be safer to count on any one of these being the human monument in Constantinople. So I think I will start heading down, because once again, we can handle that As far as culture, I mean, we're going to hit the next policy in a few turns anyways. And quite frankly, it's not mattering too much at this point. So let's just check our Great General spread. Looks good. Let us move this guy forward a bit just because we can. And we'll get this guy repairing tiles nearby because we might actually need to start pillaging here. Let's see. You guys will have this done. Okay, that one's done now, so that's really nice. Okay, so this is all looking good there, I think. Yeah, I do think I want to start having these guys head over here. We've got knights coming in from behind, so it's not like Delhi's going to be naked. Yeah, like this. That seems good. What else is going on? You are heading over yonder. You might as well head back up here, because I think this is the next one to grow we saw. Yep, alright. You're going to be the new human monument there. Oh, look at this. Okay, so this'll... Alright. This is actually pretty good timing here. We're still going to make every effort to clear it. He could bombard it, so I think we can survive this shot here. We'll still be the one to clear it in case we get freebies, but since we are kind of heading towards the end game and like distributing our death squads in a way that they start becoming more active in important areas, or relieving units to do the same, that kind of works out, because at least the northeast is going to be not our problem anymore. Hong Kong longs for culture. Right as I took a couple human monuments out. That's funny. That's funny. Alright, so tech, obviously we're going to do chemistry as we head into military science. We have a great scientist coming out next turn, so that's going to be helpful. Okay, so this will be the turn we denounce him. Alright, so we have one last turn to get everybody situated how we would like. Okay, so he's got musketmen. That's not scary. Especially when you consider the road does not help him do this to attack the archer, because we got this guy zona controlling. This is pretty weak though, so I mean he's on a hill, but so that's nice. Let's see here. Oh, he can upgrade this turn. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay. So I don't think we could step up here and step back, and even if we could, we wouldn't also be able to upgrade. So the upgrade's more important right now. We got plenty of time to get everybody altitude training. Right now it's about the upgrades, and since all of our units are in our own borders, hopefully we don't get punished too hard for that. Although the fact that we're doing all of these upgrades might scare him, but that is okay with me. Alright, so this great general's going to have to get over there the slow way because we're ripping up roads. Speaking of which, let's sell off. I guess library at this point's less important. The science we're getting from here is non-existent, so... let's see. Lancer time, there we go. And I at least want to zoom him past the camp, because there's no point acting upon it until after he weakens it. And then we'll have units to restock those human monuments. Alright, so we still have a good great general spread. There's that, which is nice, because now this worker can get down like here or here, wherever I want to go with him. In fact, can I get down there and start repairing? It looks like it. Oh, it wasn't actually finished. Okay, and it's our territory anyways. So let's just rip up the road. That should be provocative. For some reason I was thinking of repairing this, but it's our tile now, and it was never actually developed, so... pillaging it's just not even going to be an option. I didn't think of that when I did the Citadel, but I think we're still in a good position here. We'll go ahead and defend on all these guys just in case he gets froggy between turns. It's a possibility. I don't know how likely it is, but... Okay, so he doesn't quite use up all his mobility points to do that. We could even have him sit there, because he won't be upgraded anytime soon. Yeah, that's a good place for him. They're heading over there. You're the new human monument. You're going to head over there too. Okay, so we got a good presence there. And now this guy can come up here. He'll make it across the river next turn. Okay, so how far can you move? Let's see here. Can you actually get in the city tile? He can. Okay, and since this guy can get one hex beyond the city before moving up all his mobility, let's do that. Now he'll move even faster next turn. And we're in the same situation we were last turn as far as getting these guys over there. Okay. And there we go. After the bombard, we clear this out. We do get a freebie, and that's good, good, good timing. So yeah, we'll be able to free up all these knights. I don't think it's worth sending units over here. The trek is pretty long, and we've got horses and stuff over here to cover. You know what? I changed my mind. We'll have somebody go over there. Maybe the crossbowmen, because these guys are going to be closer. We want this guy in the borders as soon as possible to upgrade him. I don't know if that's going to help make him scary or not, but just doing what we can. So you guys are heading over here. He'll just basically wait on this hill to see which tile becomes ours. Ugh, what a waste. Okay, so you can cut through here. Alright, so we should be fine. It's going to take time to get those all healed up anyways. Let's see here. So, after all those upgrades, we still have a surplus of horses to sell off. And I'm just going to do a real quick check down here. I'm not seeing any spearmen. Oh, I wouldn't see spearmen. I need to be looking for pikemen. I gotta remember what they look like. I just upgraded them all. Okay, I don't think I see any. I think I know what they look like. Let's double check. Oh yeah, they kind of look like Jorn in Hot Rod. The way he was dancing. That was funny. Okay, so this one last thing to do, and that is to denounce him back. There we go. We are all set for war next turn, I do believe. And it looks like he did not prompt us, so that's really good. What's going on here? Let's wait until it's our turn to figure it out, because I don't want to... I'm not real keen on making happiness decisions off turn. That is such beautiful artwork. I always like that icon. Okay, so... Wow. Okay, here's a Keswick. Philadelphia has in fact fallen. Like, whatever, I don't really care. But the interesting part is that, look at this. So he's got units over here. So we do have to be careful that we could have Keswick showing up. He had at least like 3 over here at one point. We don't know where they are. So I'll go ahead and move this guy out of here. Okay, so there's 2 of them. I don't know how they compare to a musket man, but even if they shoot and run, that should be fine. Go ahead and cross the river. None of this matters. If anything, it might be worth dangling one out. I probably should have left him here, see if one wanted to capture and just beat up on him. But we don't have the benefit of a bombard here because it's a puppet, I don't think. So that's not important. Not really important to move these guys west, I don't think. Well, I guess it don't hurt for scouting purposes because of the way this corridor is built here. So we'll just do it this way. Knight's obviously way faster, so he'll be able to do something. Alright, let's see what's going on here. We got steel stolen. I care. Alright, this should boost our science nice from 235 to 269. Okay, so that should get us to metallurgy that much quicker. Or, metallurgy, we're already there. I meant military science. So let's just go ahead and discover technology. It gets us chemistry. I'm not going to bother playing with our tiles after that because I don't see it mattering. If we were producing military, I would, you know, bother. I suppose it doesn't hurt to, like, take a peek. Yeah, we're already working a good amount of, like, hills and stuff. I made sure to get everybody out of growth form. So, I do have a camp up there. It's his problem now. pretty sure we're at a point where the units we would get are just not going to be of much use to us. So let's just go ahead and get these guys back into position. Yeah, we're going to just ignore that. If it was over here, I might intercept it on our way, but...
Well...
Okay, he's got 4 gold to give as well as an embassy. We can do embassies. He wants iron and horses. I'm more inclined to sell off iron because that's what we've got a surplus of. He wants horses. Too bad. We are going to war, my friend. If I can even call you my friend. He makes it over the river. He will next turn. He will the turn after that. I think. I don't think Lancers are quite as mobile as Knights, but I could be wrong about that. Caravan, we'll just... In fact, let's go ahead and close these up so it's easier to see. Alrighty. Come up on the hill. You just wait until the borders grow. You're the new human monument there. And there we go. Okay, so go ahead and rip that up. It's one less tile we got to pay for. And again, we'll save the rest of the road ripping until we know what actually belongs to New York and what belongs to Washington. We don't have to rip up anything outside our borders is what it comes down to. I don't know if the Colosseum, burning it down, would actually reduce our... So we'll save that for the turn that we turn raising back on. Alright. Okay, so no unit there, and that's fine. I don't care about that. Let's see here. Great General's getting over there. Okay. It is time to go to war, my friends. Looks like all of our archers... No? Okay. Enough of our archers can reach this musket man that we can actually come here, pillage, and then finish him off with this musket man. So we got to make sure we plan our shots in such a way that that's how it goes. This Lancer has altitude training. Well, we can come here along the road. Oh wait, there is no road anymore. We ripped it up. That's okay though. It's not like there's river here. It looked like it at first, but then I realized that's our border. So I should be able to come here, get a little visibility. Actually, I might come up the road, come here, seal this off, try and end up on the salt. Nah. We'll see how it goes once we start looking at people. Anyways, we don't actually have any units in his border, so we don't have to worry about declaring war pushing us back. So what we see is what we get. And although these don't count as blockers, considering that most of his army is probably in fact Keshiks, we can at least keep anything coming out of Boston from damaging our crossbowmen. So let's get this party started, and the way we do that is seeing if there's anybody that will pay us to do it. If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Vita? Ti.
Alright.
And two. Shaman.
Okay. Looks like no takers. Obviously, the most capable competitor would be the Ottomans, so... whoops, I skipped India. Let's not forget to check him out. All these people hate us, so they don't really want to perpetuate our bloodlust. Alright, so everybody fell through. Let's just go ahead and see if he'll join us. I doubt it, but it's always worth looking into. Okay. So it's just a matter of going for it. Let's do this. Look at all that gold per turn we're going to lose in the process, though. But we get a lot of our own luxuries back, so... Okay, that does help in the happiness department. Alright, so let's... Yep. Okay, so we could trade spices for incense. Let's see here. Wasn't somebody looking for spices? I thought I saw something like that, but it doesn't appear to be the case. Salt would be the one we'd like to get the most. There's not really a reason to trade this off unless we have duplicate spices, and I don't think that we do. I apologize that this information's like not on the top of my head, but like I said, I've been doing some side projects, so trying to keep track of which ones you have and which ones you don't across like 2-3 different games is not easy. But thankfully, enhanced user interface makes it very easy for me to figure it out.
Well,
Alright, we're more or less done with the horses we're going to need for ourselves, so we can just kind of keep selling off anything to anybody that wants them. Alright, so first thing, let's do this. He's technically melee, so we don't actually have to say move. That goes to Valenius. We'll return it. We don't have ill will to them, and it looks like we'll have them indefinitely. So we got some visibility on the salt, which is really nice, because that's one of the things I was wondering about. There's a Keshik, but if we were to attack it, we would be vulnerable to Boston. So let's skip that for the time being. Let's go ahead and capture that worker. Don't need it, but, you know. And that's the end of his mobility. That's fine. It gets us visibility through here, which is nice. This guy, we wanted to come here, pillage that. That's money in our pocket. And now we'll figure out how to weaken this guy to where this guy will do about 32. He'll take a good amount of damage back too, so that's unfortunate, but whatever. Alright, this is the one that doesn't have altitude training yet, so let's just go ahead and do this. That makes sense anyways. And as far as these guys, I think doing this and this, let's keep all of our blockers, our melee, heavy. We do want to leave a shield of some kind to the east as far as our archers go. But let's go ahead and start weakening this guy down. Which is the guy that doesn't have range? Let's do him first. Oh, look, from here I could actually shoot at Beshbalik if I had visibility. The visibility is coming from here, so we won't be able to afterwards. But hopefully this guy gets range during this war, because... Okay, I do want to double check that these guys can reach the city. They can. But he cannot reach that unit, so we'll not use him. Can we do one more shot? I don't think it matters, because worst case scenario, he's still alive, and then we just don't take any damage by making this move. Alright, we're actually pretty well... Our health's in a decent situation here, so we are a little bit of exposed with this guy here, and that's unfortunate, but the counterattack would be devastating, so... anyways, let's start softening up Turfin. Oh, this city will fall in no time. In fact, if we really wanted to, we could absolutely take it next turn. And the only thing that would stop us is how many units are out this way that we need to use the archers that can reach. Which actually is just this one. So that means we got 3 double taps coming in. This city will definitely be ours next turn. Which means we can go ahead and tell New York to get out. There we go. That will not be a thing next turn. So let us get this... Oh, we can't get this worker. Alright. We wouldn't even have been able to if he did have movement points, because this civilian's in our way. So next we need to check our Great General spread. This guy's got the south covered. This one's going to have the north covered, but we're going to move some units to shield our archers. So I think something like 1, 2... Oh yeah, I gotta tell these guys to finish up their turns. 3 is good, which means we'd want the Great General more like here. And I will go ahead and step him out. Oh, we still have one coming from up there. That's good. Let's see. That's fine there. I think I should... Oh, yeah. It won't matter stepping out of New York. It's burning to the ground. Okay, so definitely let's block here. That way they can't be pillaging or whatever. I don't know. This just seems better protection of our archers. Okay, so this guy's heading over. We don't need to worry about Human Monument in Constantinople. We got units all around here. And they're going to take some time to heal. So let's just get this guy over there fast. Worker. What would we do with the worker? We're just going to be burning turf into the ground, ultimately. We might hold on to it. Some of these tiles are going to probably become ours. Actually, if Turfin has salt and incense, wow. Okay, so we'll probably hold on to Turfin at least for a minute. Use it as a staging ground for Beshbalik, but even though Beshbalik's got the walls and has crossed the river, it doesn't seem like it's going to last very long. We're going to have a lot of people with ranged and there's some hills here. So 1, 2, 3 archers would be able to shoot from here. The other one might just come in from the side or down here. I don't know. We got time to figure it out. But, okay. So, yep, you sit tight. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. What will these workers do? With New York burning to the ground, really don't have too much need for all these workers right now. Don't need to tear up any more roads. This one's got our back covered. And we actually have 2 workers that we need to move right now. I'm thinking about ditching them both, to be honest with you. Let's just dismiss the one in case something comes up that I'm not thinking about. Because this segment's gone on long enough. I'll probably just end it after turfing so you guys can give me suggestions on what you foresee the workers needing. We'll probably gain more along the way, and we're burning most of the cities down behind us. Maybe Meshbalik would be a better place to launch against Istanbul. I don't know. Getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just focus on the task at hand. Yeah, so, oh, I actually have 2 more workers. Oh, yeah, and I just picked up this one. So we can afford to ditch 1 more. This back... Nah, the one in the backfield seems more useful. Let's just hold on to him for now. Yeah, I don't like making grand gestures. We'll see how this goes. I don't think we have a need for open borders anymore. Our scouting game's finished, so let's just say no to that. Even the 2 gold per turn would be decent. Okay, yeah, that's right. When we did the thing, he was the only one that said he would be troubled, but we were at war at the time, so I didn't care. And look at that. Our units are in pristine form. 2 of them got mildly damaged, and that is it. So, fantastic. You get cover. That's a good start. They want truffles. Okay, maybe we'll get it. Maybe we won't. Ah, okay. So we do have an invader, but we do have our own units coming. So let's see here. You can go all the way up there. That's nice. We got units coming, so I don't know how big of a deal. Oh, so we do get to use the bombard when we're not, when it's just a puppet. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. We'll zone and control as much as we can. This is our happiness, after all, so we do need to keep him under check. A camp just showed up, and that's fine. This is a horse, so we can at least step here for visibility. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a swordsman, but it's closer to Nicaea, so I think I'm just going to ignore it. Let's see, scout probably has some benefit like right here. No, we're not actually going after any other cities. It might be that when we start pushing into them, they try to take over like Washington, in which case we have to deal with all of this. So it might make more sense when it comes time to take on the Ottomans to retreat back to Washington and just push through that way. I would hate for that to be the case because look at all this rough. But we'll have ranged archers double tapping. We might be able to find hills. On the other hand, Istanbul is so exposed, they might just retreat all their units to try to stop our big push. Anyways, that's part of the reason why we're bringing in all these lancers and knights, so that we can just have that formidable a presence. And there we go. New York is toast. Roads are still here, so this worker's pretty mobile. That's neat. We'll do that. Great General. Alright, because of the Great General's vulnerability, this guy's going to have to stay here no matter what. I suppose we could step in like this for visibility's sake. Alright, it's just the one Keshik, that's okay. Let's see here. Open borders, yep, that was deliberate. Washington has made peace. Okay. City becomes religious. Mecca, I don't care. It's too late for all that nonsense. Okay, I'm just going to build stoneworks because it is more happiness at this point. I'm just going to stack as much happiness as we can so we have as big a buffer to just do the things we need to do. So this Lancer could attack this guy this turn. That would be quite favorable. Got to be careful of this guy. So if I came 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd be vulnerable to the counterattack. So let's not do that. We have to keep in mind that he's got a little bit of melee in the east, so we don't want to like sleep on that. But it is time to take Turfin anyway, so none of my archers can reach any of his units, so no need to worry about all of that. I'm still going to favor this guy without range, even though he would, because I want to get him ranged. So then the question becomes, of all these other guys, which one should I keep around? He's technically the one in the closest to the east and then the most backfield, so let's save him for last. Oh wow, we're only going to get one more shot. So let's make it a different guy. And you know what just occurred to me? When I had visibility on that city, I could have stepped this guy out and shot at it. So let's move him over here just for visibility. Step him over here. Shoot that just because we can. Unfortunately, there's no road here, so I only get the one shot. So yeah, who do we capture with? Probably this guy because he's got a little bit of damage on him. And there we go. Create puppet. We got his library and a workshop, so there's that. This segment has been going long, though, and we got a lot of decisions to make here, so I'd rather come into that with a fresh set of eyes. So I'm going to end this section here, but like I said, I'm going to kind of put a pause on my side projects to get this finished up. So you guys will be seeing more the rest of this series coming a little bit quicker than it has been over the past week. I've been distracted by some ideas I've had as a result of the progress of this map, so no shame in any of that. But thank you for joining me. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please keep those tips coming. I really enjoy the feedback. I've learned so much during the course of this series, and I really appreciate that. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.